Hey, tune into this week's weekly video fishing forecast. We're going to have reports from the correspondents along with me, an update on the recent MRAC, fluke, and scup meeting that was held at the DEC headquarters. We have some rig tying and some fly tying, and we go over the events coming up, including one this weekend.
The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners. The Freeport Fishing and Boating Show is back February 17th and 18th. Get your fishing and boating season started with over 50 exhibitors and seminars from pro anglers. Fun for the whole family. For more information and advanced ticket discounts, visit freeportfishingshow.com to be part of the fun.
Hey, it's February 8th, and we are into the second week of the month. It's going to be a short month, too. It's a leap year for all you guys who forgot about that. We're going to start with some fishing news. MRAC, Marine Resource Advisory Council, had a meeting about a couple days ago on the subjects of the fluke and the porgy regulations. Now, they came to an agreement. Most people, that survey that we talked about that was sent out a couple weeks ago, we promoted it in the Fisherman magazine. It was a DEC survey. The most popular option was option 5. A lot of people selected for their second choice, option 5 as well. Option 2 was another runner-up, but it seemed like option 5 had the most support for everybody, the for hire, the private anglers. Now, they came to agreement to that at the meeting, but we have to get Connecticut on board because we do share those waters with Connecticut as well. So fluke is not set yet, but we are leaning toward option 5 with at least the New York angling public. Scup will be that option 1, minor changes, and that's going to go forward with that. Seabass will be status quo. Tune in again for more on fluke. More to come with that at the next meeting coming up very soon.
For more than 20 years, anglers everywhere have come to know one thing, that nothing says no to fish bites.
Once again, if you didn't get enough of that glossy issue of the magazine, it's out now. You can grab it at your local convenience store. It might be on your coffee table, wherever you get your magazine. We got it. It's out. Some great stuff in it. So some local stuff as well. We got some rig setups. That's by Doc Muller. He goes over the perfect balance to your rigs, whether it be the line, the rod, the reel, whatever's most comfortable, whatever will keep you fishing for a longer period of time. Then, if you decide on traveling not to the south but to the north, the Ashokan Reservoir was another article we put in. Really cool place, a lot of trout. There's some walleye in there as well. Check that one out if you want to do a little cold water fishing this next month. The Party Boat Experience. Whether you've been on a party boat before or you plan to be on one this upcoming season, it is an experience, and it's one that certainly will leave you with memories forever. Check out this article by George Jen. And we got one more, the tail of a 62-pounder caught under the Montauk Light. That's Ralph Vigmestad. Awesome article. That fish is still on display at Campside Sports Shop in Huntington Station. It's a must-read. You surfcasters out there, you guys like to fish bait, bunker chunks, clam, mackerel chunks, herring, whatever it may be. You want to get distance when casting out. I have a compact style of rig that I tied up especially for this. Short, compact, easy to tie, 3-way, swivel. Check it out. You're a surfcaster and you like fishing bait from the surf for striped bass, but you find yourself not being able to get the distance to get to that outer bar, or your leader whips around and your bait comes off all the time. We'll show you a compact way to set up a surf striper rig to cast bunker chunks, clam bellies, whatever your bait of choice may be, to get that distance and keep your everything intact a little more. It's real simple. So it starts off with your inline circle hook that you're going to use for striped bass. So you need these to fish for striped bass if you are using bait. So you have an inline circle. It could be a 6-0, 7-0, 8-0, 9-0, 10-0. Depends on what size bait you're using. Also, you're going to want a 3-way rig with a sinker snap as well. It's real simple. I take a piece of monofilament, whatever pound test that you feel comfortable with, 40, 50, maybe even 60. We're going to go about that long. It's about 1.5 feet right there. Cut that off. One of the empty eyes on the 3-way with the sinker snap. Tie one improved clinch. Not going to finish that all the way. Then on the other end, You could do a snell here, but I'm going to try and improve clinch because it's quicker and easier. Again, not going to finish that all the way. Going to take the hook, put it into the eye on the sinker snap, pull, and both are going to, knots are going to slide right into place like that. Take it apart, trim off those tag ends, and you've got yourself a very compact, long casting striped bass surf rig. You could use it for bunker chunks, clam bellies. This is going to get you extra distance to get to that trough where those striped bass are feeding. We got a whole slew of upcoming events coming up for the fishermen and in the area. Starting with one this weekend is the Route 110 Fishing Flea Market. It's located at 535 Broad Howell Road. It's from 9 to 3 p.m. Keep in mind, this show is typically on the Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. It is Saturday the 10th this year. Do not forget that. Don't show up on Sunday. There'll be nobody there. Come on Saturday. It's not Super Bowl Sunday this year. Next up is February 17th, Surf Day. This is in Jersey. I was here last year. Great show. Plug builders, rod makers, anything surf related, you got to check it out. We're going to have a booth there too. Then the 17th and the 18th is the Freeport Fishing and Boating Show. It's at the Freeport Rec Center. Admission's $10. It's going to have over 100 tables. Anything you can think of, fishing, boating, and more. For more information, check out info at freeportfishingshow.com. I will be giving a seminar at that show as a reminder. Then the February 29th, March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd is the Empire State Outdoor Sportsman Show at Rockland Community College in Suffern. Going to be some great seminars. Once again, we'll be there with the Fisherman Magazine booth. For more info, call 845-319-3976. Hey, subscribe to the Fisherman Magazine or do renew at one of the upcoming shows. When you renew or subscribe for $30, you'll get a $20 gift card to Surehold Products and a Tsunami 4-inch Tidal Pro iPod popper. And you're automatically eligible to enter into the Dreamboat contest. It is an awesome deal. We're going to go around the island. I got some brief reports from the salt to the fresh. Let's get started. Centrally, the king cod got out. They reported a pick of cod. Again, nothing special, but hopefully with this month, when the temperatures start to creep up a little more, we get some better fishing going. They're going to be going every single weekend whenever they can get out. When the weather is right and they have the interest, they will be going. Again, check out their Facebook for more information on that. Give Captain Joe a text. He's always on top of the reports. Check out the Fisherman reports. We're putting them in there every week, how they're doing. Centrally on Long Island, moving over to freshwater. The lakes have been solid. We got some warm temperatures coming up. That should trigger a good bite with the pickerel and the yellow perch. Now for pickerel, I like small rapalas, jointed, soft plastics if you want to go through a few of them. But the rapalas, if you can find those jointed in the 2.5 inch size, dynamite for the pickerel. The yellow perch, I like small soft plastics. You have small bass assassins, small little paddle tails. Night crawls under a float, another great choice as well. Night crawls on a jig head, another choice. The guys at Campsite, Paul from River Bay, I talked to Carmine at Campsite. He said that Connect Quad has been lights out, especially after you get those cold days and you get that warmer day. Fish are coming up. They're eating midges, streamers, woolly buggers. Really, you can't go wrong there, whether you just want to bend the rod or you want to get into fly fishing. It's an awesome, awesome place to go to. Remember, they do charge $25, and you have to make your reservation beforehand before going to Connect Quad. Nothing on herring this week. I know the previous weeks we had some action from Magnolia and the Cold Spring Harbor area, but either due to a lack of interest or just no herring being around, didn't hear much on them. We'll try and get a better update next week. This is a great weekend to give a shot for white perch, freshwater, anything. You know, whether it's catch and release largemouth bass, pickerel, again, yellow perch. Awesome weekend for it. You guys catch anything, send the pics over, Broderick at thefisherman.com. Let's check in with Mike Dean from the Shinnecock area.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Hope you're holding up all right. This off-season seems to get longer and longer each year, but before you know it, we'll be back out there going after some stripers. There are some opportunities, freshwater, brackish areas in terms of carp, white perch, trout, a couple other species. So I haven't been out fishing of. Basically, there's, other stuff going on that you kind of neglect during the fishing season. So taking care of that stuff, still kind of working my way through, changing out some split rings and hooks, and it just seems to kind of like never end. It's making a little bit of progress, so I'll keep going on that. And a couple of my buddies have made some out-of-town trips, got in some cool catches. False Albies, that's right off of Naples, Florida. A friend of mine I'm usually fishing with up here was down there with some guys, and they really had a nice bite. A little too cold down there for snook, but they were able to get some trout and albies, so good trip for them. Another buddy of mine was doing some freshwater fishing, nice peacock bass, and they had a few snakehead as well. So if you've had a cool catch on one of your trips, definitely send over some pics for us to share in the report and kind of help everyone get through the home stretch of this off season. Good show coming up, Ward Melville. That's on March 4th. Benefits Patriots Fishing Club. Ton of vendors, ton of seminars. Bill Wetzel's there, a number of other guys, Sean Peduano, and John McMurray is doing one. So it's not totally geared just towards surf casting like Striper Day tends to be. So, a few other topics with the seminars and some of the vendors there. So definitely check it out. Good way to spend a day in the off season and, get some fishing into your head for it. So, all right, for now, that's about it. I'll talk to you guys soon, and just hold the line. We're going to be there soon. We'll be catching some fish soon. Back to you, Matt.
With the Fly and Freshwater Report, we got Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters. He's got some fly time for us as well.
Hello, Matt. Well, it's unbelievable. It's going to get in the high 40s today, and it's going to hit the 50s this week. It is, this groundhog I hope he was right, because I'm enjoying this weather. I'm out here walking, doing a little hiking, walking around the back bays. I can't wait because this area is really good for bluefish and stripers in the spring. So I'm really looking forward to it. And all around the South Shore, you're going to find bays like this. But as far as the fishing goes for this week, well, the Connecticut is doing really well, like always. It's actually been coming down. It's still a little high, but it's coming down. But Matt and his crew have been putting in a lot of fish, so that's good. As far as upstate, the Croton system, all dropping down, all fishable, a little high. Just be careful when you go up there. But it's coming down, and it's going to be good. Housatonic's still a little high. The Catskills still a little bit high. But if it stays like this, and they're not predicting rain for at least a week, so we might really start drying up. We might have an early season. I hope so. As far as Connecticut, Farmington is fishing. So there is a lot of opportunities. The ponds are all, first of all, they don't have weeds, so you can really get out there and cast. The pickerel and the perch are really kicking in right now. Perch are getting ready to spawn. So they're loaded, they're getting big and frisky, and a lot of fun on fly rod. So, or you can do what I'm doing a lot of hiking and checking out places, and I'm also tying flies. And I hope you're watching the fly videos that I've been posting on the Fisherman, because those are great flies to tie. And if you have any questions, come to the shop and ask me or give me a call, 516-415-7748. This is Paul from River Bay Outfitters, and tie lines to next week. Hello, friends. Well, this is another, I love tying flies, and I've been working on another fly that I've been watching, and it's called the Shanks Minnow. It's an old pattern. It's been around for quite a while, since I believe the 60s. And it was Ed Shank was the one that came up with it, and he was out fishing. He was out in Pennsylvania, and he was fishing for those big brown trout. But you know what? This is actually one of my best smallmouth flies. I use them, and I could tie them up a lot now. You know, smallmouth live in a rocky area, so you're going to lose flies. So why not lose flies that take very little time to tie? You know, I don't mind losing flies, but I'm not going to, I hate spending 45 minutes on a fly and then lose it to a rock. So this is it. I mean, what's great about it is it's a really simple fly. You can see it, really simple fly. And you could tie it in all different ways. You could tie it all different colors. You could tie it with a cone head if you want. You could tie it weighted. You could tie it unweighted. It really doesn't matter. It works. Now, would it work here on Long Island? Absolutely. Absolutely. Why? Because it is, we got predatory fish all over the ponds. In the ponds, pickerel would eat this thing up. You know, the Connecticut, those rainbow trout, they'll chase this thing down. It's an incredible fly. So let's get to the vise and tie us up some. Like I said, this is a really simple fly to tie, and it is deadly on smallmouth and on large predatory trout. And if you want, you can actually tie this on saltwater hooks, and it'll become a great saltwater fly. But it's so easy to tie, you can knock off a bunch of them. So let's get to the materials. First, we're going to use these mustad hooks for the freshwater version, and then you could use, of course, saltwater hooks for saltwater versions. We're going to use some lead wire for some weight. You don't have to weight this if you don't want, but if you want, that's what I would do. And we're going to use some marabou for the tail, and we're going to use this. It's called fashion fur, right? And what it looks like is this strong, furry type of synthetic product. So it's very easy to do. Let's tie it. And I'm going to use, instead of white thread, I'm going to use red. You can, by the way, you could tie this in all different colors. It works really well. So I'm going to take a piece of lead, give it a nice wrapping. There's a wrap. I'm not making this one too heavy, just enough to break the surface. And this material will absorb water, so it will sink. And this is one of my favorite smallmouth flies. They just bang this thing. But you know what's funny is I do this in all different colors. Sometimes white is just a killer. And then the next day I go back and I can't buy a fish white, but it's olive. Olive becomes the killer fly. It's a very simple fly to tie, like I said. All right, we got our marabou. I like to use, these are called blood quills, right? And I like to wet my fingers a little bit so I could really just control it. And I'm going to measure it out. I want it about 1.5 times. So I wanted a fairly good long tail on this. Back. Now I'm going to put a little, the original did not have a flash in it, but I'm going to put a couple strands of this flashable. You could use also crystal flash if you choose to, but I think this looks pretty good. So I'm just going to take a few strands. I'm going to bring my thread down to right about here. And I'm going to tie it into the middle of the flash. And I'm going to wrap back, keeping the flash on the sides if I can. And then I'm going to take this strand, bring it to the far side, and wrap back up on that. That way I got the flesh, I'm evenly distributed on both sides. And I can trim these if it's too long. Bring my thread forward, leaving space right like that. And I'm going to take this material and it has a little core, and I'm just going to pull off and expose a little bit of the core. And I'm going to tie it in right like that. And let my thread hang. I'm going to wrap all the way back. And then I'm going to wrap forward. Right up the thread. Wiggle my thread through it so it gets right down to the core. And then I'm going to take my scissors, and you really need sharp scissors for this stuff. Right? And I reach right in there and cut it off. And then I'm going to build a nice red head. You don't, like I said, you could use any color thread. White or red works really well for this. I'm just going to build a nice head. Okay. I'm going to do my little whip finish. And tie it off. Now, the original pattern actually used rabbit for the body. They would put rabbit fur in a dubbing loop and you'd spin it and then you wrap it. But by using this material, it's a little more durable, right? And when Ed Shank did this, they didn't have this material, but now we do. So why not use what we got? That works well. And I'm going to take a sharp scissors and I'm going to start trimming these. And you just keep working slowly right around. I want to make a nice tight body. Just like the rabbit would have been too. The rabbit fur would have looked just like this. I like to use curved scissors. They seem to work the best for me. Nice little taper. What this fly does, it moves water. And that's it. It's so easy to tie, and it really catches fish. It's a deadly, deadly pattern. You know, you got to know when to stop. So this, and I'm going to trim these down, and I'm going to trim a little bit so they're not all the same size. And that's it. That's the Shanks Minnow. Very simple fly. This thing catches fish. So tie up some. Until next week, tie lines, everybody.
Ben Gilmour has the latest from Cape Host, Costa Rica. Ben.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Ben Gilmour from down here in Costa Rica at the Marina Pez Vela with this week's fishing report. Guys, the inshore fishery here right now has been really strong. We had some wonderful roosterfish over the past week or two. Just the other day we had the roosterfish tournament of the year, the Marina Pez Vela Roosterfish Rodeo. Thankfully my boat, Good Day, was lucky enough to win the tournament. We caught 8 stunning roosterfish up to almost 40 inches. So a really solid day for us, some really happy anglers. And we tagged a bunch of those roosterfish for the Grey Fish Tag Research Program. At the offshore reefs, we've had some cubera snappers, mullet snappers, and lots of action with fish like jacks and amberjacks as well. Close to the rivers, there's been some triple tail and some beautiful sized snook also. The sailfish bite offshore has been good. Some days getting up towards double digits, 10, 12, 14 sailfishes a day on the better days. And there's been a few blue marlin and a couple of striped marlin and black marlin out there as well. Guys, check us out here in Costa Rica. This is Ben Gilmour. Would love to see you down here fishing with us at the Marina Pez Vela. Back to you.
Fisherman Magazine, we got our apparel store. It's up and running. Hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts. They're all online now and free shipping with orders over $100. It's a great gift for yourself or that angler that you know in your life. Visit thefisherman.com/shop or click on the card in the upper right. If you would like to be a part of our weekly video fishing forecast, we're looking for avid anglers, whether you're captain, tackle shop, or just fish a lot on the beach. Contact my producer, tcslibayrat@gmail.com to inquire about it. Don't forget this video is available as a podcast on iTunes and Google Music. Search for the Fisherman Magazine podcast and subscribe so you can listen to this broadcast and our other content. Looks like a great weekend. As far as weather goes, it's going to be sunny too. Going to be in the 50s, almost spring-like weather. Great time to get out, go fishing, white perch, freshwater, saltwater, whatever it may be. Give herring a shot. Send me those pictures. I want to see them. I want to get them in the magazine for you. Also, we'll be at the Route 110 event this Saturday. Come on down. Check us out at the booth. We'll give you some tackle and a gift card for signing up at that event. Hope to see you there.